So we will be living in this property for a year, and then we'll rent it out. And we have another property that we purchased down the street. We bought both of these properties together as a package deal for $9,000. Or even less than that. Quiet! Kids, I mean, it happens. But anyways, in Montgomery right now, they're demolishing a lot of the abandoned buildings and homes that aren't inhabited. So a lot of owners are going to be putting their homes on the market for super cheap. There's always tax properties, different lists that you can look at online, and just, you don't have to buy a brand new house. You don't have to get in debt. You don't have to spend 30 years paying off a home.
And if you do decide to do that, if you take this route first, it just makes things so much more easy.
Yeah.
Because debt is a trap. It is a form of slavery. So we are trying to get out of that servitude.
Absolutely.
Okay. Man, basically.
This is the living room. Well, this is the living room over here. And then this is a dining room. And then kitchen. That was closed off. But
this was just a solid wall here.
Yeah.
So I opened it up.
So we opened up the floor plan, so
it's one
it looks
of those,
more spacious.
The infamous, famous, load-bearing wall. I had to put that up there, you know, build some frame for it and all that. Still got a little bit more to do to reinforce everything, stabilize it and all that, but for the most part, everything is pretty much good. Okay.
Tell them about the sink.
What about the sink?
How we got it? Did we go to Lowe's, Home Depot?
No, we got this on Facebook Marketplace.
So
4-piece set.
That's the 4th piece right there. So you don't always have to go brand new with this stuff. A lot of things you can get secondhand. That water heater over there, we got that secondhand. That water heater is a 50-gallon water heater, and it was $50. In the store, it's $500. So, you know, if you don't have lenders, if you don't have a loan, if you're doing everything out of pocket, that's the route you want to go.
Okay.
Hey, Zaddy, what's going on here?
Okay, so basically, since we're renovating on budget and
we don't have any loans, no lenders. Daddy is the
sweating hard work.
Yeah, that's it.
So basically, what we got going on here, we done cut out certain parts of the drywall.
Yeah, it went down right there in that corner, just a little bit.
Yeah, so I checked for any cracks or anything in the foundation. We ain't had no cracks, but my wife said, you know, just go on and cover it up or whatever. It ain't a big deal. But for my own peace of mind, I went on ahead and just cut it all out just to make sure. So if anything ever go wrong, you know, I know how to access this area and all that.
Alhamdulillah. I think it might just seem bigger to me because the wall gone.
Yeah, this gonna be a wall right here. That's gonna be the bath part of the bathroom in there. So that's actually why I say this.
Look at that sexy, sweaty man.
Me?
Definitely not.
So another thing, a lot of people. This is an important point. A lot of people think that when you get a house and you got to do wiring work and all that stuff, that's gonna cost a whole bunch of money, and you gotta hire an electrician, you gotta be certified and all that. Come to find out, according to the codes in Montgomery, as long as this house is a place that you're gonna be living in for at least 1 year, you don't have to pull no permits. You don't have to have no certified electrician. You can basically do your own electrical work. So that saves a lot of money for a person that, you know basic stuff, whether or not you certified electrician. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I start tearing all the walls apart and all that stuff right there doing the demo, we had some issues with the pipes. And because the house actually is on a concrete slab, that means that all of the pipes are inside of the concrete. That just makes things more difficult. So we figured out a better way to do that. So we tapped in here from the street and ran the main water line up the wall and through the ceiling to where it needs to go. And then instead of using metal pipes, I'm using PVC and CPVC for the hot water. So it make it a whole lot easier to run them pipes through the ceiling, because once they in that concrete, I mean, you got to tap the slab up and all that just to access the pipes. So that made it a whole lot easier. And then I noticed that they already had the gas line. It's running through the ceiling too. So I learned a little trick there.
Assalamu alaikum, Alabama. I wanted to sit with you guys while we're here at the rehab property and talk to you a little bit about why we bring our children to the rehab property when we're working on it. It's because we want to teach them that anything you do in life, you're 9 times out of 10 going to have to do yourself. And because we come from a community that is not rich in intergenerational wealth, that's something that we have to rebuild. An African-American community, because in this country we were oppressed and we spent so many years building up the wealth of our oppressors, our community is severely behind. And it's just something that we have to unlearn and relearn.
A lot of times people, you know, monitor social media and Instagram and stuff, and they see all of these rappers driving these $1 million cars and living in mansions and stuff, but they don't understand the struggle that a lot of those people went through who grew up in the project, but they ended up getting a record deal, and you know, that's how the process all began. But one of the key things that I'm trying to emphasize with the kids, like she said, the process. You know, that part of the game that it don't look pretty. I mean, you got the sweat, you got the grind. As Kevin Gates would say, you got to get it out the mud. Because that's how I was raised. Sometimes you have to get it out the mud. Basically, there's a movement going on now called Buy the Block Back. And that's exactly what we are trying to do. We are trying to buy as many of these properties as we possibly can. A lot of times you can get these properties for $2,000 or $3,000. I mean, they're not in the best condition, but if you put a little time and a little effort into it, you can turn it into something that's going to generate what's called a cash flow.
What we want you guys to see with us is that you can do this. Don't worry about people saying, don't worry about the naysayers, don't worry about the haters. If you get a little tax refund, use that. If you got some old dope money, you know what I'm saying? When you be on the block, use that.
Them old rusty pistols.
So, use them. You know what I'm saying? You can do this by any means necessary. Buy back the block.